Hey guys, before we get started this week, we wanted to let you know we have t-shirts for sale. If you like our podcast artwork, just the artwork without the name of the show, and you wanted that on your chest, that's a thing that you can get now.
Yes.
It's free with the $20 tier of Patreon, or you can just go on over to our website, noonecannowabouthis.com or nocappodcast.com, and there's a hard-to-see link that says t-shirts for sale. We don't have much control over the website design right now, but you'll notice it, or just go over to Etsy.com and search NoCat. That's Nockat. You'll find the t-shirt. You'll recognize the image.
You're going to look great, too.
You're going to look great. And with that, let's start the show. So, you were telling me about... You used to ask me what I was doing in the womb? What?
Yeah, I remember when we lived in...
How old was I when you were
that's
asking
a good... I was
question?
just trying to figure that out.
We even got questions about the question.
Right. I do recall being in the house on Cobbler Lane, which we moved into when I was pregnant with you, and we moved out of when you were in the 4th grade.
Right.
And it was probably some time before you started grade school. So I would say as like a preschooler.
Okay.
And we would be having the conversation about, where babies come, whatever, and then you had been in my belly at one time.
Okay.
And I said,
this is how you were introducing me to this idea?
No. It's not like we were talking about the subject, not necessarily. Okay. No, we weren't talking about the subject, but it was the kind of thing where we discussed how a baby in a mother's belly. And I said, well, what do you think you were doing in the belly?
What do I think I was doing?
Yes, and you said I was playing video games. Okay. So then we would laugh about, you were playing video games,
Did you ever ask, what game was I playing?
That part I don't recall, honestly. I don't recall. But, I don't think it was Final Fantasy.
No.
But it might have been one of those other ones, like Guardian Legend.
Right, Guardian Legend, or Legend, yes, as I pronounced
or that
it.
other one with the punching, what was
Punch
that?
Out, yeah.
Punch Out. Remember
played a lot of Punch Out.
When you finally beat Bald Bull,
yes.
It was cause for celebration in the household.
I still think about that day.
Right. I remember we went around, oh my God, Jeff beat Bald Bull.
And just for the audience, that's the second time that you've beat Bald Bull, not the first.
What do you mean by that?
You fight him twice and he's harder the second time around. For people who have played that game, they're going to be like, wow, the second time.
But I remember the characters. There was
Soda Popinski.
Yeah. And the last one was like Glass Joe or something.
Glass Joe was the first one.
Was that the
he was
first
the easiest one because he had a glass jaw.
Well, who was the last one?
Well, there was Mr. Dream in the version that we had, which was originally Mike Tyson, but in the version that you had bought for me, Mike Tyson had gone to jail, so they stripped him out of the game.
Is that right? What happened?
Yeah.
So what do they call
I fought somebody named Mr. Dream, who's a white guy that looked exactly like Mike Tyson.
It wasn't really high quality video, this stuff.
No, they were very low resolution graphics. But yeah, the other thing that you were saying about what I was doing as a kid was when we would go to the arcade, I would run up to you and I would use the phrase, let me just waste one more quarter.
Yes, we would always say, let's get out of here. No, I need to waste one more quarter. You need to waste. It was very appropriate.
The term for waste.
Well, it was very appropriate because that was exactly what you were doing.
Well, that's how you saw it.
Right, you were wasting another quarter, and it was all quarters that you had to give them.
Well, now it's only time that we're wasting.
I guess. Hopefully.
Only the time and not the quarters.
I guess so.
Is it more or less valuable?
Quarters are less valuable
than time. Welcome to No One Can Know About This, a podcast where we play every Final Fantasy. I'm Jeff Ekman.
And I'm Ryan Kazmiski.
And here we go, Season 3, Episode 6. We're back. We're back up and running.
It's Book 3.
It's Book 3.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. You're right. Where we left off last week was the same point that we left off the week before.
Yeah, we're finally caught back up. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you didn't, rest assured, we're back up to speed and doing normal episodes again.
It's going to be the normal show going forward. So yeah, Cyan is on his way to see if his kids have died.
Spoiler, they have.
He doesn't have his sprint shoes on, which is the problem.
Right.
So his king is poisoned. Everybody in this entire castle except for him is poisoned.
Inexplicably, he's the sole survivor.
And he's running like, my family. What about them?
Yeah, and we still have yet to find out what's become of Terra and other guy, Bannon.
Yeah, we're in the
Edgar,
middle of that
and
choose your own adventure chapter, and we still haven't done the third adventure.
Yep, that's about it.
Well, without any further ado, let's do it.
Yeah.
And away we go.
Yeah.
Looking for survivors in the castle. We're back.
We are back. We are playing Final Fantasy
We are
VI
walking
again.
around a castle.
Yeah, we got plenty of time left in the day.
Yeah, it didn't take that long at all.
So Cyan reaches his family's room and discovers his wife and child. It's a horrifying scene.
I don't want to undersell this because it is totally horrific what he's walked into. But also keep in mind that these are like little 8-bit puppets playing out this horror, and it's sort of hard for me to take them seriously.
Well, but it is really fucked up, though.
It's really bad.
Elaine!
Elaine?
Elaine, wake up! This can't be happening! Exclamation part!
Owain?
Owain! Not you too!
Wait. Elaine and Owain?
Elaine and Owain.
Okay.
You can't both leave me!
Wait, so these are Cyan's kids?
Yeah. Maybe his wife too, I don't know.
Both of them are dying?
Yeah, his family's dead right here.
They drank the poison? Mm-hmm. That's a fucked up scene.
I am Cyan, retainer to King Doma. I am your worst nightmare.
Yeah, Cyan runs out of the castle like, I'll fight everybody! Everybody's dying!
Yeah, he's in like berserker rage mode from the trauma he's just experienced. And he also happens to like run into two sympathetic people who are ready to fuck shit up, Sabin and Shadow, who are somehow right there.
We're right there.
They're right there. Which is, in the last episode, if you missed this, Sabin and Shadow, the last time we saw them, were hiding behind a box like a continent away.
Right.
Like that military base is like way the fuck on the other side of this continent.
Sabine
Sabina's
walks up
here.
on this scene and is like, fuck you.
Walked up on this, Sabine. May I give you a hand?
Thank you, whomever you are. Good old-fashioned you killed my family rampage.
Mm-hmm. Now let's scram.
Yeah, but what of my home, my family, my friends?
They're all dead. I have a great idea. Come over here.
Oh yeah, baby.
We're gonna hop in some mechs.
What, Sir Sabina, what on earth are these? Sir Sabina, how might these abominations be manipulated? Oh, Sir Sabina, it is I who is in your debt.
Forget it.
God, it's so terrible.
I know, the dialogue.
I want to keep in mind, this is a continuation of the never-ending cutscene that we've now watched twice.
I know.
It's like it doesn't end.
It's so long. There's so many crappy pieces of dialogue of like, what are we gonna do? And meanwhile, Shadow is just watching this play out.
He has like nothing to say, and I can't remember exactly, but I feel like pretty much after this is over, he's like, I don't want to hang out with these guys. And he takes off. He's like, this is not the crowd that I want to be associated with. This Cyan guy, like a joke they lean into that never worked for me is that like Cyan speaks formally.
Yeah.
And it's
He says sir a lot.
and he says thou.
And he says thou.
That becomes the main thing, is that he says thou, and I'm always like, oh.
It's just not...
Yeah, I mean, luckily, this long, awful cutscene ends and leads to, like, one of the best parts of the game, so...
Wow, we're all got Magitech.
Yeah. Oh, shit, man.
So Cyan and Sabin and Shadow, like, steal some mech suits, and they go fucking ham on all of these Magitech dudes.
Yeah, they're going ham.
In the heart as a motherfucker parlance.
Exactly. Wait a minute. I'm going whole hog. Holy shit.
See? That's a thing, right?
Yeah, wait a minute. And the clever variation would be going ham.
Going ham.
And going whole hog certainly means going hard as a motherfucker.
Exactly.
Shit. I feel like we just had the double breakthrough that like explains.
Right, but
we have so many
we have
options.
theories.
It's like a multiple
there's
choice.
a lot of theories,
Yeah, there's a
but
lot
like
of
we don't
theories.
have any.
The term whole hog was likely first recorded in Cowper's poem The Love of the World Reproved, a poem teasing Muslims about suggested ambiguity about their religious prohibition on eating pork.
Dude, what?
By 1830, the phrase had become popular across America, being used in newspapers and political campaigns. At this time, it migrated across to Britain, where the phrase was adopted. To go whole hog is to do something as entirely or completely as possible, to reserve or hold back nothing, to go all out, to pull out all the stops.
That has to be it, right?
See also all the way, full throttle, totus porcus?
Totus Porcus.
I like that. The whole 9 yards.
Going ham.
I don't see it in the all going also, because Going Ham doesn't seem to have its own Wiktionary page.
Fuck, man.
Well, if it doesn't have its own Wiktionary, how can we even be certain that it's a proper phrase?
There's no way to know.
I know, there's no good sources for us to look into. Fucking Wiktionary.
I think we're on to something here, man.
Yeah, I do too.
This feels like
the most solid
fertile
lead yet.
Yes. Well, this is the most solid lead other than just being like, it was an acronym that came about in the...
Yeah, that isn't like a loose suggestion. Say, how do we get to Narshe from here? Narshe.
Narshe. Only one route, through the forest to the south.
It would be weird to me at this point now if Going Ham evolved totally separate of Going Whole Hog, but still was that would be even crazy. That would be the weird. That would be
like the fact that both of those exist and are separate from each other.
What the fuck is this? Okay, so this is the castle that got attacked. The geography here is kind of nuts. Like, the castle that got attacked is way down here.
Okay.
The bridge where we had all of that adventure is way the fuck up here.
Oh.
Like, that's this area.
I know I haven't shut up about the geography in the voiceover here, but, like, there's another bridge that's closer to the castle, and the one that all of this cutscene took place at is, like, the further away bridge.
Whoa.
Like where Sabin and Ninja was up here.
Uh-huh.
I guess that after his village was poisoned, he was like, I'm going to that camp, and he walked up there and fucked him up, and that's where we met up.
He was on
It seemed like he just left his house, though.
Like, also, the way the river is the river goes by the castle, kind of, but the castle is really next to the ocean.
Right.
Like, so more than likely, the result of the poison would be people going like, there's a lot of dead fish at the beach today. Like, I don't think that people would be like,
maybe there's a red tide.
It would be one thing if the castle were like in the middle of a riverland or like something, but it's like it's sort of near a river.
Yeah.
So the idea that poisoning the river mostly affects the castle.
It's got to have affected the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, that whole area must be fucked.
I was getting like warmer, and now I'm getting colder, where it's like going whole hog over a Spanish ham.
My job here is over. Oh, Shadow's leaving us.
Shit. Well, can we pay him to stay? He likes money. He's earned his
my
fee. Is he taking some of our money?
Ta-ta.
Shadow?
Yeah.
We couldn't even watch him go, because he was invisible already.
He comes and goes like the wind.
He does come and go like the wind. He plays by nobody's rules but his own.
I know.
Not even the cider house
he's
rules.
like, just so you know, I'm gonna leave if I feel like it.
He did warn us right up front, and he felt like it.
It's like, you know how sometimes the wind is chilling with you for a while, and then the wind leaves?
Yeah, he's just like the wind.
The wind says, bye, I'm taking off.
Exactly,
and then
like
the wind is gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he's more like a hurricane in that way.
Yeah, that's...
Like the wind came, and then it blew out.
A bumblebee.
Or yeah,
comes and goes like a bug.
He comes and goes like a bug. Bummer. I was hoping to see him again in this game at some point, but I guess like that's it. He's gone. He's like the wind. So we enter a forest, which works a little bit differently from the rest of the game in that it's like a side-scrolling section, almost like a Mario.
Yeah, except it's done just for aesthetics. It's really cool. It's like, you're going to walk from A to B anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't need to be like a top-down thing here. So you're kind of like looking through the trees.
Right. Yeah, we're on our way to Narshe, but the only way through is through the woods. And you never know what you're going to find in the woods.
Look at this, though. This is cool. It's like sideways. You know, it's not like
this is down. Really, they're doing everything that you can do in this, with this system.
Look at this.
Really push it. Whoa!
Recovery spring.
You like come upon like a pond that has like reflected trees in it, and you can see the sun glinting off of it. This is not normally my thing, but it's worth describing, especially for people who are nostalgic about this game. Of like, yeah, this game has some like really
beautiful imagery.
Yeah, aesthetically pleasing moments in it. Yeah,
but the mirror effect is really beautiful.
It's really nice.
I found a train. What the fuck? A train's there? But I thought Doma's railway had been destroyed.
So they come upon a train station in the woods.
In the woods. Cyan says that it may be the old Doma train that he thought was destroyed by the Empire, which it's unclear when that would have happened or where the train tracks are for the Doma thing.
The thing that's weird about it is to be like, this might be this train I'm familiar with.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be like surprised by a train, showing up somewhere you don't expect it.
Exactly. It's on rails.
Yeah, so my feeling on it is he either should know that this is that train. It's weird to see a train and go like, I might know the train.
I might know this train.
Yeah.
But Sabin is like, there might be survivors on it. Let's go check it out. Mm-hmm. So he walks on the train, and Cyan's like, no, don't. And then the train starts moving, and they're like, shit, we're on a weird train.
Yeah. Before they can even figure out why exactly they got on board, the train is going anyway.
And they're on board.
They're stuck.
Exactly. It's moving. If we don't get off now, we won't ever be able to explore the rest of that place. Should I have explored more of that?
No.
This is the Phantom train. It carries the departed to the other side. It was just here?
Yeah.
Just chilling here? Like the train to the afterlife?
Forest.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. The fact that this is just there in the woods is absolutely insane to me.
I mean, on the sake of the game, I think it appeared near Doma Castle because, the Death World was like, oh, we got a whole load to pick up at Doma.
I see.
So we got to pull up outside of there. We're going to have to bring the whole train. One Grim Reaper is not going to do.
Usually it's a carriage.
We need mass transit to the underworld.
Wait a sec. I don't want to go there.
I also like Sabin's reaction to this because it makes me want like a Ernest Goes to Hell of like a goofy guy being like, well, I don't want to go to the underworld.
Well, hey,
How am I going to get out of here?
Ernest like getting branded by a demon and just him going, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's people being like torn apart in front of him and he's like, ah!
We all have to go there sometime.
I have things to do here. We have to stop this thing. Let's make for the engine.
Sabin's like, wait, I don't want to get on a train that just kills me, that takes me to Death
And
World.
Cyan is like, are you sure? I mean, it might be all right.
I mean, we all got to go eventually. But yeah, Sabin's not having it, and so the plan now is stop the train.
Which the first guy they run into who like works on the train, I guess.
Yeah, who's called the Impresario, which is extra weird for reasons.
Yeah, but he immediately just tells them how to stop the train. This would be like if you got onto like a subway here in our world.
Right.
And like someone who like works for the Metro Transit was like, hey, you want to sabotage the train?
Yeah.
Here's specific detailed instructions on how to do it.
Want to stop the train? Just use the controls in the engineer's compartment.
But who would ever want to do such a thing? Wait, are we going to Monsterland? Maybe? We're gonna go hang out in a cool other world where we can like come back more powerful?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
You're right, I do.
So in this room with the Impresario, there's like some time schedules for the train, which is all empty because the ghosts don't need time anymore.
Which I guess is a funny joke that
Right.
they keep blank schedules around.
Right. But there's also a switch in the room, and there's a really weird interaction where like Sabin goes to pull it, and then Cyan's like, what are you doing? And Sabin's like, what do you mean, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's a useless switch, and all we could surmise is that this is like an example switch.
Right.
So that you know what a switch looks like later.
Right. And they make a big deal of like, that's a switch.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't fumble with that.
You're not scared, are you?
What is happening right now? They flipped
How
a switch?
dare you?
What the fuck was... What just happened?
I don't know.
So there's ghosts walking around on the train, and we go to talk to one, and it's like, do you want to come with us? And you can bring the ghosts with you. And then there's ghosts in your party.
Yeah, who would have thought there's ghosts on the ghost train?
What do you know?
But the real takeaway is that the ghosts have variable reactions to being spoken to.
Exactly. The first one will come with you and be a part of your party. Seems to want to come with us. Bring the ghost along? Are we going to have to eventually give up the ghost? Oh, I can't get over it.
Oh, shit! Oh, boy.
Wow.
Wow. Oh boy.
So if you can't tell, our food just arrived and Haley lost her shit at the knock.
How's it going? Perfect. Well, the food's here. Yep. Luckily, we have that save point.
So I know he said we weren't starting the game over anymore, but the whole system got pulled off the table and the microphone.
We're starting back over on the train.
Whoa, boy. You need to be more careful with wires, Haley. She, took that controller for a ride. She really took off there. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to reset it, but...
Yeah. Should I turn it off?
Yeah, I guess.
What did I order? Oh, this is the banana. This is fucking amazing. Yeah, if you listened to last episode, you heard us ordering some fried banana stuff that was from
we
this
ordered
restaurant.
Thai food.
We ordered Thai food. And one of the desserts was like a dumpling that was filled with banana, and it was like a dessert dumpling.
It's a deep fried mushed banana.
Great.
It was pretty good. It was better than bananas.
You dip it in chocolate.
Definitely an improvement on the banana.
That's how you banana.
That's what you do with a banana.
You don't make it red.
Wow.
It's really fucking good.
That is super tasty.
Oh,
Damn.
gotta fuel up. Anyway, we eat and we get back to the game, and we start talking to more ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to one of them.
What?
What? Yeah, this one ghost is a shop.
Yeah, most of the ghosts fight you when you talk to them, but this one guy is a store.
Which begs the question, was this ghost a merchant in life?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
Like, is he like, I've got to sell it all before I go to the afterlife
He's
because
like,
I can't take it with me, but I can do it on the train in ghost form?
One last big sale. Everything must go.
We do have a lot of gold, and we need a lot of potions and tonics. This is great. We step outside onto the balcony of the train.
Yeah, what is this?
What
It's
do you
like
call
this.
this?
You know, I don't know that I've ever actually seen a real train that's like this.
I guess it's like back when trains went slow enough that they
even
could be
then,
built like this.
No, they would have like a back and a front, but this is as though it's like a boat where
Right.
there's the main cabin in the middle and then there's like a walkway all around the outside of it.
Yeah, it's like the Staten Island ferry.
Exactly, it's like that.
But a
like,
train.
Instead of having just like the place on the back and the front where you can stand outside.
Right, for like your whistle stop tour.
Yeah, you could walk around outside on the train, which seems awesome.
But so we step outside and all the ghosts start converging on us saying, no escape. No escape. No escape. All right, we got a bunch of no escape ghosts. They're scapegoats.
Yeah, bring it on, scapegoats.
No escape.
Whoa.
They're coming from all angles. No escape.
Except for up the ladder.
This way too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. You can't escape. We're ghosts. You can't go above us. We will float. Also, we can use ladders.
Run. Nowhere to hide.
Bloody persistent.
Bloody persistent, eh?
Yeah, we gotta do a Cockney accent.
So the ghosts like chase us onto the roof of the train. I guess they want to catch us. It's sort of.
They say there's no escape. I think they're trying to stop us from getting to the front of the train and stopping the train.
You're right. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
But we're up on the top, and Sabine's like, I remember my training.
Which, to be fair, if you were dead and you were on the ghost train to the next world, and somebody who was not dead was trying to stop your train,
Oh, I would be like, this guy
is not happening
This is not
today.
happening. This guy's gonna die.
yeah.
But instead, he jumps from roof of train car to roof of train car because he's...
Using his training.
So he was training on trains.
Yahoo! Boom.
That's one hell of a fucking jump this guy's capable of. Oh, he slipped and fell. After Sabine jumps a few cars forward, escapes the no escape ghosts, he falls off the train onto the balcony and walks back in, and there's a save spot and a switch, and we're like, oh, the switch.
Yeah.
That's what that thing was. He's like, don't touch the switch. Switches are things you can touch. I think that's the point of that interaction. Oh, wait, hold on. I think you can't follow us now.
So we pull the switch, which like releases the back cars. So I guess all of those ghosts and dead souls are just gonna be stuck in the woods.
They're stuck in the woods
until
forever.
Another train I don't
crashes
even know,
into them.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, because I assume a new phantom train will appear in those woods,
Right.
or near wherever the next major deaths are.
Yeah, I mean,
Which,
these woods are
spoiler
now going to
alert,
be haunted.
the train
forever.
is at some point in this game. They're going to need a train that is the length of the world. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to need a bigger train.
Yeah, I can't believe that the death train doesn't come back.
I know.
Beep, boop, boo, doop.
So we keep moving up the train and we walk into the dining car.
Ooh, dining car. I want to sit at this table.
We sit down at the loneliest table and order food from ghosts.
And it works.
They come and serve us.
Food, bring me everything you got. Is he just entertaining himself right now? Oh my god, a ghost came and brought him a sweet meal. Are you going to be okay if you eat this? The ghost dinner? Yeah, I wouldn't eat the ghost dinner. Can't wage war on an empty stomach. Gobble. Snarf. Slap. Clear the table. Ghost is professional. Wait a minute. Does he look like a waiter? That's Kefka in ghost form. I know it. Well, I've stuffed down all I can. Let's go. Wow. But who comes to a dinner like that and eats alone? Like, these are sad tables. That's a cool couch.
So we find like a stateroom that has a box in it. And when we
Yeah.
open the box, a man drops down from the ceiling, and his name is either Siegfried or
what?
Siegfried.
Whoa. Stop where you are. I am Siegfried, the world's greatest swordsman. That treasure chest is mine. What do you mean by swordsman?
I mean, if you guys thought this ghost train adventure was getting all over the place.
Now there's this guy.
Allow me to introduce my blade. Oh boy. Oh, Siegfried. His name is different. He was Siegfried before.
So at this point, we believe that there's a typo. Earlier, it called him Siegfried with a Z. Here in the battle, it calls him Siegfried with an S. And we just chalked this up to weird translation mistake, but there's actually maybe something to this.
Well, this is a character that will appear again a couple times.
Right. And has a story that never is fully clear, that we thought we had ideas about, but it turns out no.
It's like the appendix of this game or something. It's
Right.
like this vestigial thing.
It seems like it was going to be a story, and that they cut basically all of it, but there's
But they
still
left
these
cutscenes.
They left a couple of
They left
cutscenes.
cutscenes in the game. Like, this cutscene doesn't mean anything.
This is the most baffling little storyline in the entire game to me. So we'll check back in with Siegfried.
He's asking me if we've already given up. I'm gonna try to possess him. Never mind. I didn't get to input a thing.
Yeah, Siegfried's all talk. We take him down in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a joke. What a bag of wind. Now he's spelled Siegfried. Great, yeah, it was Siegfried, though. They caught the mistake, and then, I don't know. It's a big train. Impresario. Want to stop the train? Just use the controls in the engineer's compartment. Is he just telling everybody? Like, that's not what train guys should tell me. This must be the last car. Or the engineer's compartment. Or the save point before the engineer's compartment. Before the engineer's compartment. Every train's got one. Yep.
So we finally make it to the engineer's room,
Yep.
which has 3 switches in it.
But what order should we push them in? Or does it matter?
Luckily, there's an instruction manual right next to them.
Oh, this is gonna be like, do it in a certain order. Shut the first and third. And operate the switch outside near the smokestack. Okay, so... Oh, shit. Look at this. Is just straight cool.
Yeah, we prime the engine to be stopped by flipping the
Yeah,
right
we
switches.
do the inverse priming, right? Like we deflate that little pump.
Right. And then we walk out onto the very front of the train, like the Thomas part of the train.
The engine part.
The face part. Yeah, the engine part. Thank you. Thomas
the
part.
machinery part that drives it. The Thomas part.
Yeah, exactly.
As we all call it.
Press the switch, and this train to the undead land will come to a... All it takes is just hitting the button.
And then Thomas gets real mad.
And then you got to fight the Thomas.
So, you've been slowing my progress. The train is talking to us. Train is talking. We're gonna fight the train, because the train doesn't want to stop. No. Because it's a train to the underworld. It's throwing wheels at us.
So we beat Thomas. It comes to a stop, and we get off at
At the
another
train
platform,
station, yeah.
which is not in the undead world. It's back in the woods, right?
Yeah, no, we're still in the woods.
And then the train heads back off again with its ghosts on it, right?
Yeah, it's
We
almost
didn't-
like
we
it
just,
drove
we
in
just
a
couldn't-
circle and dropped us back off and then left.
And it's also like we convinced it to stop for a second to let us off. Like it wasn't like fighting it stopped the train.
It didn't break the train.
It didn't break the train. The train was just like, okay, you can get off. You beat me.
Maybe this is the afterlife, a train that goes in a circle in the woods.
Oh, and just the whole
Maybe
thing
that's the
is the
whole
train.
thing.
And so
You're like, we're going to the afterlife, and
Yeah.
it just like goes.
this was fun. A fun little train ride.
Yeah, nice little diversion.
Who are these people getting on the Phantom train?
This part is fucked.
Yeah, that can't be good. No, not my family. Fuck. Oh, man.
Elaine! Oh, Wayne!
So we get off, and then the train starts moving again, and Cyan's like, my family!
Yeah, and so after all of that goofy train shit, you see Cyan like literally watch the spirits of his family leave him forever.
Right.
And Sabine's like, we gotta go to Narshe.
I thought I would never see you again. Are you guys okay? Is that your wife and child?
While he flaps like a bird.
Yeah, he did.
Departing?
As the train's pulling away, Cyan is like running alongside on the platform, like waving to his family as they're like, we'll see you soon. And it's like, he's like, no, no, don't go.
Yeah.
Get off the train, quick, jump, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Wait, but what are you doing? My love, you made me so happy. Dad, I'll make sure Mom's alright. Kid still doesn't know what death is.
Man.
Someday I'll take that train myself. Like, why didn't
But
he...
not while I have revenge in my heart.
Like, why didn't he go fucking hop on it with them and go hang with his family wherever it's going?
Because he doesn't want to be dead.
Where are we going? Down.
South.
Beep boop beep boop. Barren Falls.
So we leave the forest and walk up to like this lookout over like the ultimate Niagara Falls kind of thing.
It is the most intense Niagara Falls that you've ever seen. We haven't been up here, right?
No, we haven't.
If we can slip through the veldt, we can reach the town of Mobliz. Mobliz to the east. Why not?
Yeah.
We're gonna jump off of a cliff. Why not? I mean, there's a... Whoa.
Apparently, the way forward towards Narshe is to jump off of this. That's like their idea. Is they're like, well, I'm glad we ended up getting off of the ghost train. Bummer about your family.
Right.
Let's jump off of this waterfall.
This fucking waterfall. It's like, I read a while ago about all these people who, like, in the early 1900s had this plan of, like, what if we went over Niagara Falls in a barrel?
Yeah, like early Evil Knievels who were like, I ride barrels over waterfalls.
And most of these people died.
Yeah.
But the ones that didn't would, like, tour the world with their barrel that was all, like, busted up that they survived in. And they'd be like, that's the barrel I went over Niagara Falls with. And they would make money that way.
Well, I feel like, isn't this a thing? There was at least one guy who would go to towns and ride his barrel over their waterfall. And, like, Niagara Falls was, like, the ultimate.
Right.
And he just kept
There was
touring around doing
There was a
barrel
guy in the
rides.
90s who kayaked over it, and he instantly died. And he was so sure that he would make it that he had, like, reservations downstream at a restaurant that he was gonna, like, go
Why
to.
would you think you were going to make it?
No.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Whoa. That's a ballsy move. What? We're fighting piranha in a waterfall as we go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the rapids of falling down is piranha.
I mean, this is what those kayakers are never ready for. It's like
piranha.
the battles
The
on the way down the falls.
That's why they stay in a barrel.
Yeah.
Nobody can get at them.
Yeah, you got to protect yourself because otherwise, even if you do make it down, you might just like expire on your way to shore.
See, the fish are out of the barrel, and you're in the barrel, so it's the opposite of fish in a barrel.
The key is to keep the fish out of the barrel.
Exactly. I mean,
This fall is
going on for quite a
like
while.
you shouldn't have jumped off of this. You're not going to be okay.
Yeah, when we get to the bottom. The feeling that you get because these battles take so long is that you're just falling
This fall
forever.
takes them
Minutes.
probably like 8 or 9 minutes, right?
to fall down a waterfall
Yeah.
like this. What the fuck? Am I doing something wrong?
No, I think it's okay.
It's just taking this long?
Oh, that looks like a boss piranha. It's
Rizzo
at least
boss.
a different color.
Yeah. He's got a different name. He casts magic. He's a magic piranha. Everybody, lots of things seem to have magic.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying, like, we haven't seen magic ever, and there's a fish.
That's doing this. Whoa!
Baby.
Oh, fuck.
You got very lucky there.
Wow.
We barely survive this magic fish.
Right.
And we land at the bottom of the falls.
That was Cyan's plan all along. He's like, well, I know another way to catch this train.
I'm getting my ticket one way or another.
Sabine's like, so we're going to Narshe? And Cyan's like, yeah, sure, Narshe. And jumps off the cliff. Yeah, Sabine was just like, sweet, let's go.
We're going to Narshe in our minds.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's right, going to Narshe.
Who just found us? Who's this guy again?
We haven't met this guy.
Okay.
So we wash up on like the edge of a river.
And we're found by like a weird child.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
He's draped in monster hides, eyes shining with intelligence, a youth surviving against all odds.
Another youth, huh?
Another youth.
Gao. His eyes are shining with intelligence relative to other animals.
Yeah, they're describing him as though it's like you saw like some kind of monkey or something,
Right.
and you're like, that monkey seems like there's something behind his eyes.
But he's a person.
he's
a real
You
just
look
a-
at him and you're like, this is a kid.
This is a kid.
Person. Yeah.
shining with intelligence. It's pretty dumb. Shirtless?
Shirtless.
Green hair.
That isn't green when you're not in the menu.
He's blonde here.
And you are?
Embarrassed. So this kid runs off, and we go to like chase him off into the veldt. And I forgot that.
You were extremely injured from your fall off the waterfall.
Right.
You weren't ready to just go out and get dinner.
I forgot about that. And I run into some soldiers who have migrated to this field. What are you guys doing
Oh boy.
Oh shit! I can't! Oh fuck! Oh, I haven't saved in a long time. Oh my god damn it! Fuck me! I forgot. God damn it! I didn't heal as soon as I fucking walked out of that waterfall. Fuck.
Rough.
Oh, that
Real rough.
sucks. So here we are back on the train.
Luckily, they had that save point at the before the engineer's room.
Right, the save
there's
point that all trains have.
You don't have to do the whole train again.
But still.
Real rough.
Because then we fight the train. And then what else was there before the waterfall?
Nothing really.
We basically go up to the mountain.
Watch this.
This time through, I suplex the train.
Right.
Which I'm told is a proud tradition among Final Fantasy VI fans.
Sabine picks up the train, flies it up into the air, and then slams it down upside down back onto the tracks.
And then it keeps going.
And then it goes again. Yeah. And then it throws a wheel at you. Where's it getting all these fucking wheels?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess trains have a lot of wheels.
Do they have extra wheels?
Do they need all those wheels?
Maybe they don't need all those wheels.
Maybe they could still operate with just some of the
Fewer wheels. But do you want to be using that as like a weapon? Is that where you could run out of them?
Well, I mean, if you're a train and you're trying to preserve yourself, you've got to use what you have, which is a lot of wheels.
You're right.
Anyway, we get through the whole train and waterfall fiasco. And
We go back to the veldt trying to look for this kid that found us.
No, I don't think
Did that fill your stomach?
I don't think that was food. I don't think we have food.
So out on the veldt, which is this field.
Think of it like a savanna.
Yeah.
It's like a big, open place full of every enemy you've ever encountered in the game.
Right. And one of the people that you encounter is this kid that found you.
Yeah, Gao.
And he's hungry. And we don't know what to do about that.
Well, I do, but...
Well, I don't. And you were staying quiet. What about just a tonic? But we don't know what to do yet, or I don't know what to do yet. So we go to this town of Mobley's and start exploring, seeing what's going on here.
Only carrier pigeons link our village to the outside, okay?
That's weird. Well, I'll tell you what else links it. Me, because I just came from the outside. Letters tell us that the war has broken out.
From the pigeons.
Pigeon letters.
This region's called the Veldt. Monsters from all over the world migrate here, including soldiers.
Yeah.
You stop by the house up in the far north. The guy there's a tad psycho. Yes.
Is that
I think that's the clock guy.
Threw his own kid out, thinking he was a monster.
Huh.
Wait a minute.
Out hunting, I noticed a kid running with a herd of beasts. His parents know where he is?
Right.
I threw some, quote, dried meat into a herd of hungry animals, and some kid emerged and grabbed it. Well, where did you get this, quote, dried meat?
Yeah, what is that a euphemism for?
Dried meat.
No shit. You can just, eat it when hungry.
Go buy weapons and things.
What do you think the Jerky Boys are up to these days?
That is a fascinating question.
Should I try to find the answer to that?
Yes.
What are the Jerky Boys doing now?
Oh boy.
I've been waiting for this segment because this is about to be the Jerky Boys podcast. For like the next 3 episodes, I was intermittently reading this gigantic, unimaginably long article about the Jerky Boys.
As much as I talk shit about the internet being terrible lately, I am glad that we live in an era where if you look up anyone who was a celebrity in the 90s, chances are that very recently there was like a massive profile done on them by a serious journalist.
Yeah. Man, it started in the 70s.
What?
Well, at least with the first 2 dudes, like, just making and recording prank telephone calls that eventually made their way to Howard Stern, who played their tracks on the air.
I knew
Howard
that.
Stern found them?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, they had a movie, too. In 2000, tension developed between the two. Like they were hired to be in movies together, but, like, refused to share scenes.
What?
I don't know. It sounds like there was a big, they hated each other, the 2 Jerky Boys, at a certain point.
Can you imagine being a producer on a film and trying to negotiate this? You're like, oh, and we'll get this one cameo from the Jerky Boys.
Right,
It'll be
right.
great. And it becomes a fucking ordeal.
Well, it just becomes a thing where they're like, well, they can't be in a scene together. And it's like, do you want a Jerky Boy?
You're going to have 2 scenes with each of the Jerky Boys?
Where they're separate, but the bit isn't that they're the Jerky Boys? It sounds like something where you'd be like, well, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind. One of them released a solo album in the year 2000 called Once a Jerk, Always a Jerk. In 2007, one of the dudes brought it back. A collection of mostly ringtones and skits.
Ringtones, huh?
Yeah. As of 2016, the About page on the Jerky Boys website does not mention Kamal in discussing the history of the group and its recordings. He's like the other dude.
How? It's 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Some soldier wandered here, busted up pretty bad, too. Doesn't look good.
Shit.
Only the letters coming from the town of Miranda are keeping him going.
Dude, you're not gonna be surprised, but you're gonna be like, what? And then be like, oh, duh. I believe the Jerky Boys is now a podcast.
Okay.
Or at least it says here in late 2011.
But they're not talking to each other.
Brennan started one of the dudes started a weekly podcast called The Jerky Boys Show with Johnny Brennan, where he discusses the history of the calls, how the characters came about, and other hijinks. Doesn't sound like it's like the Jerky Boys now. It's about the Jerky Boys?
Jerky Boys?
It's not new calls?
Man, they really must have thought they were some hot shit.
Seriously.
Making a podcast about their own history.
Yeah, making a podcast about your own history, totally weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see the parallels.
We're like, these guys, like, they're doing prank calls, but they're adults?
The parallels are not lost on me. I will point out, however, we're not bothering anybody.
It's a good point.
It's not like we made a podcast about egging houses.
You're right.
As adults.
Yeah, we're not knocking over mailboxes here. This is its own form of entertainment, I hope.
I say that I love good prank phone calls.
I know, yeah.
So I'm hypocritical no matter how I slice it in this scenario.
Injured lad. I'm from Miranda. The Empire invaded and made me join their army. I fled when I heard we were making for Doma. They caught me and did this.
What did they do?
Now I can't even move. I'll never see Lola again.
They made you paralyzed?
He's hurt.
Broke his leg? So in this town, there's like a building with a guy who's asleep.
He's an injured soldier.
He's an injured soldier, and he needs us to send letters for him.
Well, he's like corresponding with his girlfriend back in his hometown.
Right, but he's paralyzed and he's in bed, and he can't ever get out.
I don't know if he's paralyzed so much as he's feverish and sweaty, and his wounds aren't healing, and he's
But we've talked to him over like a span of weeks. in the game.
Do we? Is it weeks?
Well, we
Or
keep
is it
like going to sleep overnight and then
Right.
coming back and finding. This guy has an unending list of letters to send. We go and we find the letter on the table, and he's like, "Can
Yeah,
you send it
that's
for
true,
me?"
that's true.
And then we just like go to sleep in the inn, and then come back. He's got another letter. We send that. Go to sleep with another letter. We send that. Go to
Well,
sleep.
it's like he gets a letter, we read it to him.
Right.
He tells us he wishes he could send something to his girlfriend.
Right.
And then we send it. Yeah, it goes on and on and on, really.
On the desk is a letter. Will you please read it? Flowers are blooming in the garden, telling me spring is here. How are you doing? I'm so worried. I wish I could fly to your side. Come back to me, Lola.
Cool letter, bro.
I'd like to write her back, but I can't even pick up a pen.
Well, you can dictate it, and I guess I'll write it. So wait, listen to this. The podcast ran for 17 episodes and then abruptly ended in November 2012. Brennan announced a subscription for new calls being regularly released each month, but then it never happened. And he was later quoted as saying he stopped the podcast because there was no money in it.
You don't say.
You don't
There's
say.
no money. Weird.
Weird. Yeah, here's the Rolling Stone retrospective, which is Jerky Boys, The Calls That Changed Comedy. I'll look into this in a little bit because it seems like we've got a game to play.
Yeah. But I'm pretty interested.
Yeah, we'll continue this.
Postage to Miranda is 500 gold pieces. Gonna send a letter for that soldier, right?
I'm at your service. I send things all over the world. I have a lot of birds. Dwayne and Katrin are both 16 and in love. They won't shut the fuck up about it. Also in town are a couple of teenagers. These 16-year-olds named Dwayne and Katrin. Mm-hmm. Remember their names.
For what?
They're the ones who...
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't realize that.
Oh my God, that's so great.
Oh, what? I was like, let's cut this. Who cares about these two
We
characters?
gotta keep Dwayne and Katrin.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I thought I just assumed you knew that.
No,
already.
I didn't. I totally forgot about them, and then I was watching this and was like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
They're in love. Who cares?
Remember them.
Yeah, they're just standing here staring into each other's eyes.
They won't even carve something into a thing.
Vegetables are big in this world.
Very, very, very big. During their 90s heyday, the Jerky Boys turned prank calling into a funny, filthy art form, selling millions of albums and inspiring today's crop of improvisational, authenticity-seeking comedy stars. Then they went quiet. Now, the group's co-founder and driving force, Johnny Brennan, is ready to hit redial on his career. I already hate the article.
The co-founder, and he's like, but really the prank calls were my idea.
That seems
he
to
never-
be, yeah, his deal is like, this other guy had no part of it.
Is redial even a button that exists anymore? I sent a letter for you, dude.
Nice.
Another letter has arrived. Could you read it?
Boy, this is
I can't
turning
find
into
your
a chop.
favorite record. I thought I'd play it and you'd be with me, but
Well, where are you gonna get the record?
for everything.
Is there a music store in town? The picture that the guy who wrote the article is painting is frustratingly stupid. Of like this guy standing in an office, like he's kind of scared. He's ready to do something he hasn't done in 20 years. Make prank calls. Because it used to be his thing.
I was just thinking of how sad would it be for someone who's now like 50 to be like, well, I guess I'm gonna prank phone call people.
And the fact that he was like, I didn't keep podcasting because there was no money in it is, first of all, hilariously stupid.
And second of all, it seems like he didn't even fucking try. It
Exactly.
seems like money didn't come immediately, and
he was like,
and he was like,
forget it. And
I'm
so,
not famous.
and so it's like obvious that by this article, he's like, gotta go back to that old money well. He needs this clearly,
Yeah.
on some level.
Yeah, I'll try to send another letter, I guess.
Yeah,
500 gold pieces, you can send a record. Send it.
yeah, send the record. Man, it must have been so big. It must have felt so huge for them. They were literally selling millions of copies of CDs.
Wow. I didn't know it was like that.
They made a movie about, they made a movie.
That's true. I forgot about that.
And then they just sort of stopped. I wasn't feeling it is Brennan's enigmatic way nowadays of explaining why he ceased prank calling.
You don't need an excuse for why you stopped making prank phone calls after you're an adult.
you do not.
Nobody is going to be like, but why?
But why did you stop?
Why did you stop doing
prank calls?
I always wished you had kept painting, you know? Why'd you ever stop? You had a gift.
What? But if he wasn't feeling it, plenty of other people were. The influence of the Jerky Boys. Fuck you. I mean, they made an influence, but let's not overblow it.
Yeah. Well, I've tried meat now. Let's see if I can find that kid.
Yeah, we head back out into the fields to lure that kid with some, not candy, but dried meat.
Yeah, we're going to try to catch the feral child.
Right, with some Jerky Boys. Meanwhile, we've been hearing in that other town throughout this episode, we've been hearing people being like, some guy in the north of this town, like, threw his kid out when he was a little kid, thought the kid was a monster. I don't know.
Yeah, this whole town knows the whole story. And has just let this kid go feral.
They've done nothing about it.
You know, really not anything about it. It's totally our responsibility to take care of this kid.
It is. Because nobody else is stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, and I mean, they wrote him so well, too. How can you avoid him? He's like Encino Man.
Jumps around. He's happy.
Thou art so odd.
I already kind of don't like Cyan. I'm Cyan. He's Sabin.
Mm-hmm.
You Sabin. You Cyan.
Me want more food.
You want more food. No more food for you. No more for you. You go. Get more for me.
No ocean.
You're a regular munchkin. You're a regular munchkin.
He is like a regular munchkin.
Me like dancing.
You good leader. This goes on like this for forever. I can't even explain to you how much of this we're cutting out.
Thou. Thou, thou. Thou, thou. Thou, thou.
The back and forth where Gao's like, Gao, 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 me, you, Gao. And then they're like, what is happening? Gao, shut up.
And then Sabine, like, picks a fight with him or something.
It just goes
and they
on,
run around.
dude. It goes on.
It's...
And on and on.
There's a lot of this. You angry me? Gao gives Cyan and Sabina a nice gift, and thanks for food. Crabs in his hand.
Yeah.
Gao's treasure, shiny, 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 shiny.
Can anything be
How the fuck
that
long
shiny?
does this need to be? Does Mr. Thou like shiny thing? Maybe he tries to steal my treasure. God.
Locke? Well, he's a treasure hunter. We go Crescent Mountain. Shiny thing there.
Oh, he's saying... Okay, I see. So on the map, if Sabine is the town, and that's where the river was, they want us to go. The next place is down at the bottom of the map.
Okay, so south. I still can't believe you figured this out then. We're looking at a battle screen, and the characters are positioned on the screen in a way where Gao is like, if you're this town and you're the river, then we gotta go towards me. It's not that hard to wrap your head around when you present it like that, but the way it's presented in the game is like, this whole scene is happening and then important information, and I don't understand it at all.
It's like you've been sort of numbed by this nonsense that's going on, and then suddenly it's like you snap to attention in the middle of someone giving you instructions.
Right.
You like missed the beginning.
And it's also a caveman giving it to you.
Yeah, so it's all written in gobbledygook.
Exactly. The shiny thing that he's talking about, you don't think it's some kind of crystal?
I don't know. I don't remember. Mr. Thou, hurry up. We're leaving. Hey, I told you once, I'm not Mr. Thou.
Mr. Thou, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Thou. What?
Okay. I love this.
Hang on. So we go to a black space, and an imp walks out.
Yeah.
Which looks like a weird little frog.
It looks like a green
with
duck.
Yeah, a green duck with a crown.
Yeah.
Here's how to build up Gao's skills. Choose Leap, a command that only appears when you are on the veldt. Okay. So you, like, release him into the wild.
Yeah, you release him into the wild.
Then you go back and find another monster, and then he shows back up and is like, I figured it out.
Yeah. He goes and learns the ways of the beasts.
Who is this platypus?
I don't know what this thing
named
is.
Kappa with a crown. It's a crown. It's a green duck
wearing a crown and a
wings
cape.
or a backpack or something. So Gao can become really good, or he can stay really shitty, depending how much time you want to spend walking around, releasing him into the wild.
Well, if you release him into the wild a bunch, is that also just like a fun way to grind?
Yes.
So as Sabin is walking around the overworld map to the beat of the music, it looks like he's kind of doing like a dancing walk, you know?
Right. Well, because he walks in perfect rhythm.
Right.
Like, you know, he's there's no variation.
He's got some shoulder
Constantly-
dancing going, yeah.
You can't see me, but I'm like pumping my arms.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, when he's walking like this, you're right. It's like he's in a musical.
Yeah, here we come to save the day. We are the soldiers of this castle town. There was a really, really terrible musical that I saw some of my friends do when I was at Sarah Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And the song that I will sing to the day I die, that I still think is like the most extraordinarily bad musical theater song I've ever heard. And my friend and I, he was in the show, he was like, that was the worst thing of all time. Mm-hmm. It was like these prisoners, and the chorus was, dig, 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 dig a hole to be free. Dig a hole, dig a hole. I don't remember anything else.
Wow, that sucks.
But I don't feel like I need to.
Oh, wow. I gotta know what that is.
It was called Promenade, I think.
That sounds like the name of a bad musical.
Right? Yeah.
Oh.
Dig, 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 dig a hole to be free.
Anytime you've got lyrics about digging a hole, that's just, you can do better.
You can do better. You can do better than that. But it's the life of the prisoner.
Or even just the lyrics that are like literally what they are doing right then. You know, it's like not about the like, dig, dig, dig.
Yeah, here I am.
Press a button to
It's a classic.
select your attack.
So that's episode 6. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. We're well on our way again.
We've picked up Gao.
We're about to get the shiny thing he hid.
Yeah, he hid a shiny thing in a cave. Mm-hmm. We're on our way to the shiny thing.
Man, this part is long.
Yeah.
Like compared, because we split into the 3 parts.
Yeah, one of them
And
is like
there's
10
the
times
lock
longer
part,
than the others.
which is like a nice little bite-sized chunk. You still do a thing.
Yeah.
And then there's this one, which is like huge,
Unbelievably
and full
long.
of these cutscenes that don't shut up.
And the train.
And then there's the train. I think the
like,
train is one of my favorite
train's
parts of
great.
the game. I think it's great.
But there's still just so much in this segment. And then the last of the 3 that we do is just
not
like,
even a thing.
It's like the shortest of all. It's like, yeah,
you
just
arrive at a place.
You arrive and everybody's like, good thing those other people showed up here too.
Can you imagine if we had done that one first, and it's like you get there,
Yeah.
and then it's like do the other ones?
Yeah.
It would be like you walk from a boat to Narshe.
I
and
guess
that's it.
I guess those people, I guess it's Terra and Bandit or whatever, are just waiting for days
Yeah.
for Sabin and Cyan to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, before we go, let's do the Billboard segment.
Yeah, let's.
This week, it is in the Ghost Train station.
Yeah, let's head out.
Let's head there.
Ooh, it's kind of chilly and eerie out here in these woods.
It is. It's got like a chill to it. I'm looking at the temperature on my phone, and it says that it should be warmer than it feels.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I can't. I just like the hair on my arms standing up.
I don't want to spend a lot of time here.
There it is. It's pretty odd. There's just a train platform.
There's a train station in the middle of these woods, and so I guess these tracks lead to the afterlife.
Well, that's. I mean, I guess.
Like, you and I can just come here and wind up, like, that's how the afterlife works. Is like, you and I can just go to this station if we wanted to, maybe walk along the tracks,
Well, you know,
see what's down there.
Look, and I guess everybody who dies will probably see this billboard. So that there's a positive about the location.
Yeah, everybody in the world will eventually see this
There's
billboard.
I guess, I don't know if you'd call it foot traffic.
After it's a little late for them to appreciate it, but yeah, it's ghost traffic, not foot traffic.
Anyway, we walk up here onto this platform. Yeah, here's the board. It's
a bench board.
Yeah, it's a nice bench board for those waiting to pass to the other side, I guess.
Yeah.
it would all be quite lovely if this whole place weren't so eerie. That's all.
Or I feel like we shouldn't be here. Like I'm getting that sense in my bones.
Yeah,
so let's just read this
I have
thing.
like a feeling in my stomach that I want to leave. As soon as
Okay.
possible.
Yeah, maybe that's how they keep live people away. Is like every minute we spend here, it gets worse. So, okay, the message reads, "Fuck you, Trevor." Signed, Jesse.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to send somebody off,
You would. You're right.
get one last fuck you
one
out.
last fuck
One
you.
last fuck you.
Well, I wonder if it's somebody who killed Trevor.
I mean, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, how awesome of a move would that be?
Yeah, I mean,
you kill Trevor, and
now-
then you go "fuck you, Trevor" on his way to the afterlife.
It would be pretty baller, but not be baller is being here when Trevor shows up, or the spirit of Trevor shows up.
That's a good point.
I mean, I'm just getting.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So let's get out of here. Fuck you, Trevor. I guess
fuck
I
you,
agree
Trevor.
with Jesse. Let's go. So yeah, $50 a message. Just email nocatpodcast@gmail.com. That's NOCKAT, and we'll
Help you find the appropriate place in our many, all of the ads that we can place for you. You know?
Exactly.
We'll help you out.
Just email with the subject line billboards. So with that, head on over to our Patreon and check out the video version, as well as get the episodes early. That's patreon.com/nocat. That's NOCKAT. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at NoCat Podcast, and you can email us at nocatpodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah, hit us up.
Hit us up. And with that, here's a little taste of next week on No One Can Know About This.
Did the letter come back? Where's the letter?
On this turn back the clock day in late December, when Brennan is set to resume his pranking ways, things are very different. It's this man who's poised before an iPhone. It's this man who wants back in the game.
Back in what game?
I don't know.
The prank phone call game? The thriving, lucrative business of prank phone calls.
In contrast to that article that I read last season about like the Twins commercials guys, that like the article was like tearing them apart and making fun of them, and I loved whoever wrote the article. This is like, what do you think? Like, what kind of universe are you portraying of the prank call world that was in the 90s? And, like, how everybody's doing that now? And was so influenced by the fucking
so
Jerky Boys?
weird.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because prank phone calling has gone from punk rock and underground only to mainstream and commonplace.
Right.
Everyone does it with their families. Like,
That show that's still on the air, Crank Yankers.
yeah, exactly.
And it's like once back in the game, and like I think they were the game.
They were
I
the
don't
whole
think There
game.
was like a lot of different.
There were like Opie and Anthony would do some pranks.
Yeah.
There were some other prankies. The phone rings. Brennan takes another quick gulp of water. A restaurant hostess is picked up. Hi, how are you? Whines Brennan, affecting a neat, reedy, nebbishy voice. This is Saul Rosenberg. Oh my god. In less than 2 minutes, Brennan Rosenberg has the hostess grasping for reasons why the restaurant had misplaced a photo of him that doesn't exist. With all this remodeling this summer, she says it maybe got put into storage and not back up. He sure doesn't seem rusty. They're portraying this like hilarity.
I want to listen to this prank phone call.
I think I can make that happen.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I was there during that remodeling, kvetches Saul. I fell through the floorboards. After the confused hostess eventually hangs up, Brennan looks relieved. I think we got something there, he says, reverting to his natural Queen's drawl.
I think we
Let's
got
make
something
another
there.
call.
Let's make it. He's just. This reminds me of like when I was probably in like 6th grade or something, and I went to visit my friend who had moved to Houston, and we spent the day in his room, and we had like I don't know, it was like a tape player or a Yak Back recording or something of Mike Myers going like, "My name is Simon, and I like to do drawings." And we just went down the list in the phone book, and we just called, starting with the first number. Like, it must have been like half the phone book. We spent like days, and we would just like when they picked up the phone, we would just like hit play on this recording, and just play it again and again and again.
Did you get any good responses?
No, I don't. Not that I remember. We would just laugh our asses off while they were like, "Hello, oh, they're so loud. Why is this happening?"
All right, you ready to hear Saul
It
Rosenberg?
was so stupid. Mostly,
Hi, how are you?
The funny thing to me is how clearly, like, this Rolling Stone writer came in with the article already written.
and with the clear idea of like, I'm gonna see if I can help him get his career. Like this is it's a puppy.
Storage.
Like, what's funny about this?
You know, everybody remembered me as they called me Slant-Eyed Saul.
This is so sad.
Thank you, honey.
It's really
Thank
sad.
you.
It's really
Have a
sad.
good
This
day.
guy.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
So he hung that up and looked at the reporter and was like, I think we got it. Ugh. Oh, man.
Cyan, the shiny thing Gao spoke of, is in here.
Oh, yeah.